Coach, Miami wrapped up tournament play with the Miami Invitational last
Yes.
weekend. What are your main takeaways from tournament play?
Yeah, so every year when I put together our schedule and I look at the tournaments that we're going to attend, my philosophy is to get our team to situations in which I believe they're going to be challenged, but also I need them to feel some success. So as far as just looking at the teams that we were able to play, I thought we had a good balance of both, meaning I think that our team was challenged at times, but I also think that they were in situations in which they were successful both individually and as a team. So I think what our team showed in pre-conference tournament play is that on any given day, we can be a great team and at all three aspects of the game, meaning some days, our bats just came out and swung the bats really well like we did against Dayton, and our pitchers have had strong performances, and I think about the way Bree pitched against a very good UNLV UNLV team in Vegas. I think about the way Courtney threw against Eastern Illinois, and I think about the game that Taylor Rothy threw against East Carolina. So our pitchers have shown that they could have great days, and I think our defense has played well. So I think the key going into conference play is going to be our ability to just be consistent with our play, and I'd like to think that every game we're going to go out there and win 8-0 like we did against Dayton, but unfortunately that's a tough thing to do. And our message to our student athletes is if we can go out and find a way to be strong at least two parts of the game going forward, I think we're going to be pretty successful.
Miami had the highest RPI ranking in the conference at 65 when
Yes.
the first RPI rankings came out yesterday. Yep. What does this say about your strength of schedule and level of Miami's play at this point in the season?
Right. So along with putting together a challenging schedule, along with finding ways for our teams to be successful, I strategically have to plan accordingly from an RPI standpoint, because RPI is extremely important. And it's not just important for us, but it's important for just our conference to have as strong of an RPI as we possibly can going into season. So I think that 65 ranking, you always want to be a little higher, but I think for where we're at right now, I think it's a good start. Obviously, we're the highest ranked team going into conference play from an RPI standpoint, which means we not only do we play a challenging schedule, but we also were able to get, to win some big games. And, I was happy to see a couple of other MAC schools in the top 100 with Kent State and Ohio, but I think that our student athletes, after playing this pre-conference schedule, I think that they're ready to go.
You host Butler for a midweek game
Yes.
on Wednesday. What do you expect from Butler's roster, and what do you hope Miami can accomplish?
Right. So we were supposed to play Butler a couple weekends ago at the Southern Illinois tournament, but unfortunately because of weather, it got rained out. So they're a team that we're well familiar with. We've played them in the past. We had an opportunity to scout them at Southern Illinois tournament. So, as far as what they're going to bring to the table, they're going to have two pitchers on they have a few pitchers on staff, but they're going to rely primarily on their left-handed pitcher, who is a sophomore, and Carly Ricketts, who's a right-handed thrower. And, I think just watching those two throw, I think our offense will match up well against them. From an offensive standpoint, just typical Butler-style softball, they're going to have a few kids at the top of the order who can swing it pretty well, and they're going to run. Coach Hall is just known for the running game. So, but for us, the main thing going into this Butler game is more so about how do we get better today in practice, and how do we be the best team that we can possibly be tomorrow. So just looking forward to having an opportunity to get back out on the field and compete tomorrow at home.
As you begin conference play this weekend, what are your expectations of the team?
Right. It's simple. Our expectation is at the end of the year, and our long-term goal is going to be to win the regular season. However, although that's our goal each week, our focus is going to be on the opponent that we're playing that week. We're going to take it one series, one game at a time, and I believe if we can find a way to win each series, it'll be a good end to the year.
Your first conference series is against Central Michigan.
Yes.
What are you expecting them to bring to your field this weekend?
Yes, I grin because it was a tough series for us last year in Mount Pleasant when we played them. And it was one of those series you walked away and I still have a bitter taste in my mouth for how that series went down. And I'm pretty sure our returners remember how that went. So first and foremost, I have a lot of respect for Coach Yonker and her staff. I think they do an incredible job with their team. I think the one thing I know we're going to get is a team that's going to be scrappy. They're going to grind, and they're going to play with a lot of energy. And from a pitching standpoint, looking at what they have right now, they've got about 5 pitchers on staff. They've got 3 kids who are throwing the ball primarily. They've got their lineup. They're going to run a little bit. We're going to have to find a way to contain the top 4 hitters in their lineup. And they've got 2 main hitters in their lineup right now, and that's Shaden Knapp and Erica Underwood. So we're going to really have to just be strategic about how we throw to those guys. But, it's the first conference series for both of us. So I know that Central Michigan's going to be ready to go. And I know that our student athletes and our coaching staff, we're excited for it. We're going to go. We're going to work hard on Thursday for practice to prepare, and we're going to be ready to go, and just excited that we get to play Central Michigan at home this year.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.